Another one that we decided was worth getting into, given that we all have social security numbers in the government payment systems. So Elon Musk's DOGE team granted full access to federal payment system. What's that about? Elon Musk's government slashing crew, the Department of Government Efficiency, has been given access to the federal payment system, exposing the sensitive personal data of millions of Americans, as well as details of public contractors who compete directly with Musk's own businesses, an influential U.S. senator has confirmed. Ron Wyden, a Democratic senator from Oregon and the ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee, posted on Blue Sky that sources had confirmed to him that the Treasury's highly sensitive database had been opened up to the tech billionaire and his team. Donald Trump's new Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, had granted the billionaire's DOGE team full access to this system. So this is the, I don't know, Sky, whatever the hell they call it over there. Sources tell my office that Treasury Secretary Bessent has granted DOGE full access to this system, Social Security and Medicare benefits, grants, payments to government contractors, including those that compete directly with Musk's own companies. All of it. Confirmation of the arrangement suggests that Musk, the world's richest person, now has entry to one of the most sensitive U.S. government databases. The system controls more than $6 trillion of federal cash flow each year, with millions of Americans depending on it for Social Security and Medicare benefits, federal salaries, and more. Until now, the information stored on it has been exceptionally closely guarded, with only a select few officials having clearance to control it. But since the advent of the Trump administration on 20 January, members of Musk's DOGE team have been battering to be given access. On Friday, the Washington Post revealed that the Treasury Department's top civil servant had retired after more than 30 years of service. David Lebrick had clashed with Musk associates over their efforts to effectively break into the system. So this is him, and there are all kinds of things smearing him going around on the internet. Yeah, no, that is truly the face of evil. This pale bureaucrat who probably hasn't been out in the sun for 25 of those 30 years. David Lebrick, the former fiscal assistant secretary of the Treasury, controlled the computerized payment system the government's using to pay out $6 trillion a year. He refused to give Trump's team access to the system to conduct an audit. He decided to retire instead of comply with the president's directive. Well, that's a very cute way to put it. He refused to give access to an unelected oligarch who wanted and didn't everybody have a problem with Bill Gates being so involved with health policy? Didn't everybody say, why is this billionaire allowed such access to government functions? I never voted for him. You want Elon Musk in control of the government's payment systems? And this is what blows my mind about this. Like, what do you think he wants to do in there? Stuff for you? Like, you think Elon wants access to that system because he's saying, people on Social Security just aren't getting paid enough. Let's see how we can fix that. What do you think's on his mind? What do you think's on his mind? Wow. According to the New York Times, Lebrick had been placed on administrative leave after he objected to DOGE agents being given access. The newspaper reported that incoming Treasury Secretary Bessent gave his permission to the new deal late on Friday. Under the arrangement, the Times reported one of the DOGE members who can now scour the data of millions of Americans is Tom Krause, chief executive of the tech company Cloud Software Group. Last I heard, there are all these people who are very concerned about data collection and invasion of privacy. So you're comfortable with that? You're comfortable with the chief executive of this tech company having access to literally every person in America with a social security number's records? Okay. Before confirming the deal, Wyden had already sounded the alarm about Musk's attempts to break into such a sensitive federal database. On Friday, he wrote to Besant warning that the system was so critical, quote, it simply cannot fail. Wyden warned that any politically motivated meddling in them risks severe damage to our country and the economy. I can think of no good reason why political operators who have demonstrated a blatant disregard for the law would need access to these sensitive mission critical systems. One of the fears about granting entry to the system to a freewheeling outfit controlled by Musk is that he could use it to block payments to a large number of federal programs as part of his mission to slash and burn the U.S. government. Wyden also suggested that the move could pose a national security threat given Musk's extensive business interests in China, which in turn could give the Chinese intelligence services a pipeline into U.S. data. This, quote, endangers U.S. cybersecurity and creates conflicts of interest that make Musk's access to these systems a national security risk, Wyden said.
Now, I didn't go to school. I didn't finish college, so I'm no genius. I'm no great student. But aren't certain Treasury expenditures, subject to U.S. law, which is changed in Congress? Right? Like, wouldn't you have to, like, if you were going to just cut off some sector of the government or whatever, from Treasury spending? Wouldn't there be laws on the books for some, not all, but for some of them? Wouldn't there be laws on the books saying, you can't do that?
Yes, but what you're seeing here is the Silicon Valley move fast, break things mentality applied to government in a situation where you've got a slob of a president who's not particularly interested in what's going on. Hi, Elon's going to fix the payment. Yeah, let him in. Let him have everybody's information. He has a social media platform that's highly dependent on the collection of data. No problem. Yeah, let him see everybody's personal
take a look around.
Take a look around. Let him poke around in there. I'm sure there's lots of stuff you don't have to spend any money on. If you are not a billionaire, and if you're watching us, you're probably not, and you're celebrating this, what you are, my friend, is a fucking peasant. You're a fucking peasant. If you think it's a good thing that an unelected, unaccountable oligarch with a history of capricious behavior
and
just
autism,
turning on people spontaneously. Yeah. What's that?
And autism.
Having total access to the records of every taxpayer in America. If you think that's great, I don't know how you remember to breathe. You're so fucking stupid.
Autism, which causes him to do certain movement, autism really compels him to do things spontaneously without thinking. I don't mean that as a knock against all autistic people. I'm probably a little on the spectrum myself. I'm just saying his particular.
You definitely are. His guy calls me up in the middle of the night. He said, "Definitely Wapner." Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but Elon's particular strain of autism compels him to do extreme things very spontaneously, as we know. That was purely the result of his. So if his autism compels him to do Hitler salutes without thinking about it, then wouldn't that same impulsiveness pose a danger in this context?
Yeah, one would think.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Of course, to make the usual gang of high IQ people get really behind this, they're hitting all the culture war themes. So General Flynn lists payments and grants that were given to immigration and refugee services, claiming they're not legal based on nothing that I can see. Elon Musk, the DOGE team is rapidly shutting down these illegal payments.
But what if there's a law that gives, like, I don't know if that's true in this example, But I'm assuming you can't just go in there and cancel payments. Like, what if there are laws that allocate funding to certain things?
Yeah, well, that's where this has the character of a coup.
Yeah, exactly.
In a coup, law breaks down.
Oh, look, I found 700,000 here. I'm going to get rid of it. Like, what if there's some bill somewhere that allocates funding to one of these places?
Well, and then you're getting into, well, who's going to stop me?
Right.
And here, this has been really going around. The DOGE team discovered, among other things, that payment approval officers at Treasury were instructed always to approve payments, even to known fraudulent or terrorist groups. They literally never denied a payment in their entire career, not even once. Okay, so first of all, what he's not telling you is that they don't really do that. The various agencies that they send money to deal with the micromanagement of payments. They literally deal with billions of payments. There is no way that they could micromanage payments.
Right.
That's for the people they pay out the bigger sums to manage their departments and decide who gets money. The claim about terror and all this, he offers no evidence at all. He just says it, right? And then everybody runs with it. All the stands just run with that. Alex Jones, this is he had just taken off the devil suit after assaulting Tucker Carlson, and so he didn't have time to put his clothes back. But here is Alex Jones commenting on this.
So this news just broke in the last hour. The Department of Government Efficiency, run by Elon Musk, got access earlier today to the U.S. Treasury Department's payment system, and they discovered that basically no one is ever denied. There's basically no oversight. Now you know others.
I'm the Antichrist. Turn over
your different federal departments, including the Pentagon. This is seismic change. Elon's thinking he can cut billions a day out of the spending that's going on. The big central banks want to bankrupt the country. They have unlimited currency that the U.S. government, the private.
Did he cut the national grid in Hill Country? Is that why he got the fire going? He cut the utilities.
Reserve borrows from, so they've been positioning us under Cloward and Pittman for a collapse, like we're a third world country like Nigeria, for a very long time. So this is real change. It's got the power structure very concerned. And this is real revolution. The old order is collapsing. The new order is here that wants prosperity, stability, and doesn't want the country to go bankrupt or World War III. Also, Trump's confirmed he's been talking to Putin and the Russians and Zelensky in Ukraine about a major peace deal. Major pressures being put on Zelensky and NATO have been refusing to come to the table. A lot of good things happening, but BlackRock-controlled hedge funds are making record bets against the stock market to blame Trump's tariffs in the coming weeks and months to try to crash the economy and convince the public that it's all Trump's fault, so we abandon populism and prosperity. I've warned the globalists that's not going to work. If you do crash.
Putting insane tariffs on our trading partners, that's not going to crash the economy. It's BlackRock shorting the market that's going to crash the economy.
And then they'll blame the tariffs. See, this is what they do. They get 10 steps out in front of something.
Exactly, because they know the economy is going to crash. Right. See, they're blaming Trump for it.
Stock market is going to be you that gets the blame and not Trump. We know the Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates. If Kamala got in, now they're going to raise them. Again, you're doing everything you can to throw a wet blanket on the economy. The people see through it. More reports coming at Real Alex Jones on X. This is a true revolution. I want to salute you all for your great work. Now let's keep fighting. We've won major battles, but not the war yet.
When the economy crashes, see what they're going to do is they're going to blame the Christians. They're going to start seizing churches and selling off the land.
They're going to start putting blood in the matzah again.
Right. They're going to start building Planned Parenthoods on purchased and sold church land.
Yeah. Oh, okay, man. Okay. So what Alex Jones is telling you is a revolution, is where Silicon Valley billionaires seize the payment system of the federal government, completely unelected figures, and have total control to Americans' data and information. Somebody who, as was pointed out, has ties to China. I thought we're so worried about security and cyber crimes coming from China, data collection from China. Thought we were worried about that. So now here's the usual suspects really celebrating this. DOGE now has full access to the Treasury's payment system. Can't stop winning. Can't stop winning. So this was kind of interesting. New York Magazine did a little thing on this. Elon Musk may have your social security number. Political scientist Seth Maskett is sounding the alarm. There are many disturbing aspects of this, but perhaps the most fundamental is that Elon Musk is not a federal employee, nor has he been appointed by the president, nor approved by the Senate to have any leadership role in government. The Department of Government Efficiency, announced by Trump in a January 20th executive order, is not truly any sort of government department or agency, and even the executive order uses quotes in the title. It's perfectly fine to have a marketing gimmick like this, but DOGE does not have power over established government agencies, and Musk has no role in government. It does not matter that he is an ally of the president. Musk is a private citizen taking control of established government offices. That is not efficiency. That is a coup. And going to the article, and Musk got all of it for practically nothing. All it costs to gain access to Americans' financial data, the government's social security checkbook, and presumably every U.S. taxpayer's personal information was $288 million in political donations to help elect Donald Trump. That's peanuts to somebody worth more than $420 billion. Now, is Elon somebody who can be trusted with that power? Does he seem like somebody who has your interests in mind? Amazon and Elon Musk, SpaceX challenged labor agencies' constitutionality in federal court. They're suing to abolish the National Labor Relations Board, to abolish it, to get rid of it. And Trump just illegally fired members of that board so that it cannot function anymore.
Right.
It's not functioning.
Rendered useless for the time being.
They're not able to do anything. Delete CFPB. And again, when you got figures like Elon Musk, Mark Andreessen, all saying the same thing, that you got to get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Now, if you actually have some self-respect as a working person, what that tells you is, wow, that must be a great agency. That must be great. If all of these rich scumbags want to get rid of this agency, it must actually be effective. It must actually do good work. Now, if you're a peasant, if you got a peasant mind, if you think like a peasant, yeah, you know why it's a woke agency? You know why? Because Humpty Dumpty said it on Joe Rogan. There are too many duplicative regulatory agencies. Now he had a couple of responses that were pretty good of people who actually seem to like him. Crazy Fanac. I participate in many personal finance discussions. That is literally the one functioning government organization that consumers can appeal to for help and get results if a bank screws them over. Come on, dude, do some fucking research. Jesus Christ. See, this is where you went off, Fanac. That's not a bug. It's a feature. He did the research.
Right.
It's exactly why he wants to get rid of it. Get it? Name one government agency that does what the CFPB does. Yeah, exactly. More Perfect Union actually just dropped a great video. I think they dropped it today about the lobbying firm that Pam Bondi comes out of. It's the same lobbying firm that what's the name of his chief of staff?
Oh, I forget. His new
Wiles.
Yeah. Oh, Wiles. Yeah.
His chief of staff. Yeah. They come out of the same lobbying firm, and this lobbying firm has clients that want what? They want tariffs on certain countries because that's going to benefit them. And one of their biggest items of some of the clients of this very powerful Republican lobbying firm is to get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. That's where this is coming from. This is not for you. None of this is for you. This is a wholesale reversion to a 21st century version of feudalism. This is what they are trying to create. They are trying to gut and get rid of every agency and department that protects you. And they're doing it by cloaking it under these rightfully unpopular individuals, figures, personalities, ideas, DEI, and so on, the gender, kabuki, all that. They're hiding behind that, but that's what, just like the Democrats, they don't really care about that. What they're after is your fucking money. What you're after is your money. What did George Carlin say decades ago? They're coming for your Social Security, and they'll get it. They'll get it. They'll get it all.
They'll get it all. That's right. They'll get it all.
Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, I think they've given back $32 billion to consumers. These people are so greedy, they spend that at lunch, man. They spend that at lunch, and that's too much.
No, something
is blocking their power. There's somebody holding them accountable. It's an affront to these people, and they're manipulating your cultural grievance to get you to help to beat your own ass.
Yeah, and the more red-pilled you are, the more blue-pilled you are. I mean, this is kind of what Whitney Webb gets into a little bit, right? But I hear a lot of talk about depopulation. Well, what do you think this is? What do you think funneling this kind of wealth into fewer and fewer hands is going to lead to? It's going to lead to sicker people, poorer people who die faster. It already has. And so the result is the same. The result gets you there the same. How this is empowering to the average person, I don't understand. I do understand how they win elections, because we covered on the first hour of the show, the Democratic Party is in complete shambles, rightfully so.
Shambolic.
Right. But at this point, I don't understand how you make a coherent case that this is anything to root for. It is totally beyond me. And, this is why we were very adamant during the campaign to support neither candidate. Like how could you come on here and sell this? How? I don't understand it.
Please clap.